I got scammed out of my White Zombas. Now before you go yelling at me in the comments saying that it was my own fault, I know it was. Now in the scam, he ended up giving me these items, and so I decided to take them and see if I couldn't just trade them all the way back up to White Zombas. So let's get right into it. So because I'm really new to trading, I don't know a whole lot about what's actually good to trade up to. So I decided to see if I couldn't just trade my werewolf up for something a little higher in value. I found someone who was willing to do it, and they gave me their Dominus GT in change for my werewolf, and that started off the series with the first trade. So for the second trade, I decided to do a lot of the same thing I did with the first one, and I just tried to trade it up for something a little higher in value. I found someone who was trading their Maverick, and I offered him my Dominus GT. They accepted, so we were able to get something a little bit higher in value than the Dominus GT. For the next trade, I traded my Maverick up for a black market gold explosion. I had to message a load of people asking if they would do it. A lot of them said no, but I finally found someone who was willing to say yes and willing to trade it with me. So we were able to trade Maverick up to a black market gold explosion. For this next trade, I traded up my werewolf body and my exotic wheels for anodized pearl. Now, I'm pretty sure this was actually okay of a deal. Anodized pearl was going for about 100 credits at the time. Both my items combined were only going for about 80-ish. So I was totally fine with this, and I feel like I made pretty good profit on this trade. This next trade, I decided to try to see if I can't trade my black market up for something better. I found somebody, and he was willing to do it, and then we got into the trade lobby, and he said I needed to add. So I just quickly added some of the limiteds I had and the one import, and he finally accepted, and so I was totally cool with this. I don't actually think I lost anything, but I could be wrong. According to the spreadsheet, I didn't, but you never know. So I was happy to make that trade. The next trade I did was me trading Intrudium up for Streamline. Now, Streamline at the time was going for 200 to 300, but a lot of people were selling it for like 180 to 190, somewhere like in there, and they buy it for really cheap. And so I was hoping that maybe I could get away with trading Intrudium for it. And I finally found somebody who was willing to do it. He said he was losing profit on it or whatever, but he still accepted. And I was like, you know what? That's whatever. Joke's on him. After having anodized pearl up for a while, anodized pearl, whatever you want to call it, I finally found someone who's willing to give me 90 credits for it. I jumped on this really fast. I know some people have sell it for 100, 110, but I just took the 90, was done with it, turned it all into credits. That way we can go buy other stuff. So this next trade is actually a trade of a guy trying to scam me. I knew it was probably not legit at all because who the Harry wants to sell electroshock for 90 credits? But apparently he does. So anyways, you just watch closely. There goes the electroshock out of the thing. I canceled because I'm like, I ain't going to deal with it. It ain't worth it. This next trade, I found a guy who was selling sparkles for 50 credits, which at the time, I think sparkles is going for 80 to 100 credits, and he was asking 50. I gave him the 50 credits because I was pretty sure I could flip this for at least a 30 credit profit, if not 40, and made this deal. Super happy about this trade. We'll take these any day of the week if I can. So at this point in time, I had Streamlined for about a day, and I could not sell it for the 200 credits that I was asking. Finally, guy asked me for if I would take 190. I said yes. If he would add something, he threw in a limited item, and I was like, you know what? I'll just take it. I'll be done with it. I might be able to get 10 credits for that item. I have no idea. But I was like, you know what? 190 is worth it. I already made profit off this. We got it from a werewolf. So totally happy with that trade. For this next trade, I decided to go ahead and put up an ad that I was buying limited items. I basically went and said I'll buy 24 limited items for 20 credits, which I've seen other people do it, usually for 10. And I figured that hopefully I could get a couple good, decent items in there. I wasn't sure. I seen the checkered flags in there, and I was pretty sure I could get about 20 credits for each, and that's what I was really hoping I could do. And so yeah, I was totally fine with giving 20 credits for all these items. And literally 30 minutes later, some guy messaged me saying he wanted to buy the yellow or the saffron colored checkered flag for 20 credits, and I took it. And just like that, we had literally just paid off all of those items that we just bought for 20 credits. So I was super happy that I had went ahead and bought all those limited items. And yeah, this made good profit so far. So the next trade I made was for electroshock. A guy was asking 170 for it, and so I went ahead and added him. And then when I got in, he actually said he was asking 200 and made a mistake on the post, or I don't know, something like that. So I threw in a couple limited items that were worth maybe about 20 to 30 credits roughly for it. He accepted, and we were able to buy ourselves electroshock for 170 plus some ads. Hopefully I'll be able to spin it for about 240. and I was really happy with that. So this next trade was me selling off the black checkered gold explosion to a guy for 20 credits, and I'm super happy about this trade because, I mean, it's just pure profit at this point. Any of these limited items that I sell is all just profit. I mean, I think this is a really good trade to do for those 24 limited items, and yeah, I'm super happy about this trade. The next trade I did was actually for some more limited items, and I really have no idea if any of this stuff is going to be valuable. I mean, it's really, honestly, just a really big gamble, I guess you could say. Sometimes you get really lucky, but for 24 items and 20 credits, you know, surely there's some profit somewhere that can be made. Really, we just got to make 20 credits back, and then everything else is free to us, basically. But the next trade was another guy messaged me saying he wanted to buy the crimson checkered flag, and he gave me 20 credits for it, which means we just paid off the next set of limited items we just previously bought. So I was super happy about that. And now basically all the limited items we have in our inventory now is pure profit. It doesn't matter what we sell them for, we're gonna make profit from them. So funny enough, this is actually another guy trying to scam me. People are crazy, okay? There are so many people out there that are trying to scam anymore. It's nuts. This guy wanted my electroshock, acted like he was this new player or whatever. And as you see, he just took out his Hextide. And so me being the person I was, just went ahead and typed in the chat saying that he can go ahead and throw that back in for me. And then he promptly left, and I've never seen him since. Next trade was a guy messaged me saying he wanted to buy 2 of my limited items for 10 credits. I had these both listed for 10, but nobody was buying them, and a guy said he'd give me 10 credits for both of them, and I said, you know what, I'll take it because it's pure profit, and I'm not really expecting to get 10 credits out of them because they're not even really worth that. This next trade is actually me selling off about 12 or 13 items worth of limited items for just 10 credits. I know it's probably wasn't the greatest deal, but also at the same time I just want to clear my inventory and try to turn some of this stuff into credits, and plus it was a pure profit, so I didn't care. So this next trade, I finally was able to sell sparkles for my 90 credits that I was asking. I had some people ask me if I was still selling it, and then they would just like ghost me or whatever, never came back. And we bought this thing for 50 credits, so we made a 40 credit profit. And now for the final trade of the video, we were able to sell our cobalt checkered flag along with electroshock. Now the guy messaged me saying he just wanted to buy the cobalt checkered flag, and then in the chat in the game he said he wanted to buy electroshock as well for the 240 credits. So he throws in 260 credits, and I throw in the 2 gold explosions. Super happy about this because we bought electroshock for 170 credits plus some ads, so we made huge profit on this trade. So if we go ahead and take a look at what we started with at the beginning of this video to where we are at now is an absolute huge difference. Anyways, I want to thank you all so much for watching this video. Hopefully you've enjoyed. If you've been able to make it all the way to the end of this video, a like and maybe even subscribe would mean the absolute world to me. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.